Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to Anime King 2, and today I'm going to be giving you part 15 of What If Naruto Got His Memory Sealed Away. Remember to get this one to 300 likes as usual, share this to all of your friends in your social media platform, and also guys, go ahead and check out the new episode of What If Naruto was given a second chance over on Anime King. And I also posted a new episode of What If Naruto learned the clone secret in the beginning. So go ahead and check that out and enjoy. And stay in tune for What If Naruto was the Osusuke King, guys, and I hope you guys do enjoy. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time you hear my voice and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King and Anime King 2, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all for helping and support. So yeah, without further ado, let's begin this new episode. Begin the intro. So, the last time we left off, the group landed on Kiri after coming off the boat. As Kakashi then told Naruto to go and do his thing. With that, Naruto vanished. As Teoi then started to bother Kakashi, asking him where Shithead went off to. But Kakashi told her that Naruto had some other business, and he will be fine. So with that, Kakashi went to meet the new Mizukage, as he must say she was quite a beauty. And he also had a paper in his back pocket, which Teoi had slipped out of it. It was a Mizukage name, her measurements, and her information on it. As Shikamaru looked at Kakashi, as Kakashi thought that wasn't a personal Kiri greeting. So she slipped that in his pocket. Meanwhile that was going on, Naruto arrived as he met up with Sai, as Danzo has given Sai the information about where Uzi is. After talking to Kakashi, and just get Kakashi to think that Naruto wanted to see his previous old home where his mother came from. Kakashi wasn't against that. As long as Naruto returned before they head back to Konoha, he should be fine. As Naruto and Sai headed off, arriving at Uzi, they had to go through numerous traps. As they went to one of the buildings that weren't that badly burned down, they couldn't step on the wall with chakra because it repelled them off. As a giant stone kind of robot came out of the ground, as it started to attack them, the thing had seals on it that repel all sorts of attack. Naruto has been learning Fuin Jutsu by Jiraiya, so Naruto was able to take control of the robot, as it picked up him and Sai and threw them on the upper course. Meanwhile that was going on, as the Akatsuki has found out the information that Naruto is by himself, away from Konoha. Right now was a perfect time to strike, seeing that they could capture him without any hassle from the village. As Deidara was sent off. Meanwhile, Naruto and Sai went through numerous traps as they came upon the final building, as Naruto wouldn't be surprised if it just suddenly combust. But out of nowhere the building exploded, shocking the hell out of Naruto. It was just a suggestion, but it really exploded. As Deidara came down in his clay bird, as Naruto noticed the Akatsuki robe. As Sai created two ink birds as they started to battle, Naruto created a special explosive tag as he thrust it upwards that blew up Deidara's bird, but Deidara hopped to another bird. Sai passed out from using so many chakra to control the birds, as Naruto had to grab him. Seeing that there was only one way out, Naruto jumped off the building straight into the ravine, as Deidara watched him land it right into the swirling whirlpool. Sasori Senpai was going to kill him for making the Jinchuriki die. Meanwhile, Teoi was still cursing as she hasn't seen Naruto yet, as Shikamaru told her to go and marry him if she wanted to, but she started to kick him. She did not love Shithead. What was he talking about? It was just fun when he was around. So yeah guys, that was basically the last part we left off. You guys can switch across to the place and check it out for yourself. So, what do you say we begin this new episode? Waking up after getting your ass kicked was never a very fun thing to do. Waking up after getting your ass kicked and stuck in an under pool of water, well, there was violent coughs as Naruto emerged from the underground lake. He was holding on to Sai's hand as he ripped Sai out of the water as well, the both of them collapsing right on the shore, as he landed on his back and started to cough. "You alright, Sai?" he asked. But there was nothing. Naruto frowned as he looked towards Sai, checking his pulse. He was still alive and well, but it was now clear that he was suffering from chakra exhaustion. As Naruto checked if he was still breathing and everything was okay. How the hell can I be the one that wakes up and drags us out of the water? But doesn't he even have a single drop of water in his lungs? Naruto sighed and let Sai be for the time being, as he looked around the cave that they were stuck in. From the roof, the water from the whirlpool was coming down on them, but it was going around. Where was it going to? Naruto created a clone that jumped in the water to look for a path to get out of here, while he looked at the situation they were currently in. Well, their mission was an utter failure. All of the things that they went through brought them nothing but misery, pain, and anger. And if Sai could even get angry, Naruto wasn't sure. But it was a lot of waste of time. Before they could check the last tower to see if anything useful was in there, the thing was blown to hell by Deidara. The real issue of that battle was, for Deidara keeping out of range. If he could just get close to him. Naruto cursed. They had been fighting all day long, going through so much traps, fighting that stupid golem, and then they went and fight that Akatsuki member. What was it? Was there a deity trying to make him suffer or something, just to make his life hell? He started checking his equipment, but when he reached for his sword in his back. God damn it, Naruto cursed! My sword is broken again? His blade had been busted, possibly when he fell on the rooftop from so high after tagging Deidara. A few explosions went off near him as well, so that could be another way. Who knew where the broken pieces were now? There was nowhere for him to repair it this time. This was just not his day. But even though that Naruto body wasn't fatigued at all, Sai didn't have Naruto's stamina because Naruto's stamina was kind of endless. After all the training and the things he put himself through, it was very hard for him to get tired. "Why didn't you use my chakra?" the fox said, as Naruto was grateful for the distraction. Well, Sai was right there and we were flying on one of his flimsy, ink birds. Even if he could stand up to the chakra, his bird couldn't. We would have dropped from the sky like a stone and died. I just had to face it, Deidara. He had a great number up there, seeing that he could fly on that bird, and it doesn't seem to be causing him a lot of exhaustion. The Kyuubi rolled from Naruto's head. If you had come alone, you could have destroyed that fool. Maybe, but there is no such thing as a fair fight. Coming with outside would have been easier, but he has his mission, and I don't see anything wrong with the help. Danzo Jiji wouldn't have sent him if he was weak. We just had a bad opponent. Deidara was just troublesome. As Kyuubi agreed, as he knew that Danzo would train his man to their fullest. "If you come across that man again, I want you to eradicate him. No questions asked, understood?" Naruto scoffed. "You don't control me, but you're right. If I see him, I'm going to drag him to the ground and rip his arms off. But not particularly in that order." But where did he get all those explosives from? And when did he have time to shape them? That is what I really want to know. Get some rest. You cannot do anything while your partner is unconscious and weak. The bomber human must have think that the both of you died, being thrown into their vicious whirlpool, so there's no one pursuing you at the moment. Take advantage of that and regain your strength for the time being, the Kyuubi said. As Naruto just kicked back, as he decided to let the raging water outside just calm him to sleep. Meanwhile, I'm so dead, Deidara said as he looked over the whirlpools that the boys had dropped into. "I'm so dead," he said. "Deidara, get down here." Deidara paled at the voice as he looked down. "Deidara, get down here now." As Deidara nervously went down with his bird. "Oh, sorcery," he said. "You made it. I thought you were going ahead to capture the Jinchuriki, seeing that you can move faster than I can, seeing that you're in the air." "Well, you see, I did find him, and I did fight him. He had another guy with him and we ended up getting into a little fight. They were kind of troublesome, but in the end they weren't that hard to beat." Sorcerer kept his tone calm. "You're not telling me everything, Deidara. Do not treat me like I'm a fool." "What? I didn't say that," said Deidara as he raised his hand. "But you see, when I beat them and moved in to take the Jinchuriki, he kind of jumped off the building with his partner, and he landed in the water and got sucked into the whirlpool." Sorcerer looked at him. "Your stupid example for art jumped the gun, didn't it, Deidara?" Deidara eyebrow twitch. "Hey, my art is better than your boring, rust and wear, attract excuse. Besides, how was I supposed to know he would be stupid enough to jump off the building into the whirlpool? People don't do things like that." Sorcerer scoffed as he turned to walk away. Apparently, this person did. Sasori, shouldn't you be angry about this? The Jinchuriki is dead, why aren't you more angry? Leader Salma is going to tear us from limb to limb. Did you see a body? Deidara shook his head no. Then he's not dead. Tell me he's dead when we find his body. And then I'll show you how angry I can be, he said. Sure thing. How is he not dead though? It is just as I remember it, said Sasori. Deidara looked at him oddly. But he didn't say anything as he just followed behind him. Time skip. Thud. 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 Naruto cracked one eye open as he wondered what the hell was that. Don't tell me they're attacking the river bottom now. Naruto went over to Sai. Naruto raised his foot and kicked Sai right in the ribs. Hey Sai, wake up, he said. Sai slowly opened his eyes. Naruto-senpai, where are we? What happened? Naruto looked around trying to find out what the hell that noise. Well, long story short, you blacked out on me. And I ended up jumping into the whirlpool to save our life. Seeing that we were going to get blown to smithereens because that guy was still flying his bird. Naruto didn't stop. What the hell is that, he cursed. Sai rubbed his head and he sat up. What noise? What are you talking about, senpai, he asked. You really can't hear that? Thud. 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 Naruto looked around. That noise, what is it? He shook his head. Well, for the time being, my clone found out that there is a underground path in the water. Can you hold your breath for a while so we can get out of here? Sai nodded as he pulled himself to his feet. I should be fine. How long have we been down here anyway? I'm not sure. I can't tell how long I've been asleep since we got down there. How is your chakra exhaustion? Sai generated some chakra before dropping it with a breath. I should be fine, a soldier pill, he said. It should get me out of here at the very least, as he reached into his pocket and popped a pill. Thud, thud, thud. As Naruto saw the rock start to fall down. This is just goddamn great. Come on, Sai, we need to get out of here, he said. As a large boulder came down as both of them hold their breath and jumped into the water. Once in the water, it was just more worse because he had to dodge large boulders coming down. As Naruto brought Sai deeper under Uzu, where exactly he wasn't sure, but the cave was taking them somewhere else, rather than being just stuck here. As Naruto looked up and saw they were coming up on the surface, finally Naruto's eyes went wide, as him and Sai separated as a giant foot smashed into the water. Jumping out on opposite ends, they saw the statue. The giant statue as before, pulling out his foot. Wait, how did that thing get down here, Naruto said. Worry about that later, senpai. We need to fight, said Sai. Naruto nodded as he reached for his sealing paper or to pull out a soggy, wet, mass of paper. Naruto's sweat dropped as his paper just shed away to the ground in pieces. That is not good, he said. He looked over at Sai. How do you still have ink on that scroll? You're underwater as well. My scroll, keep my ink and brush inside as well. When it's shut, it's airtight, nothing can get in. Damn, that's useful. I need to really invest in something like that. He was cut off though as he had to jump out of the way as the statue punched down where he was. The two of them started to run and the statue started to punch. As the thing hit the wall with a loud thud, making rocks fall everywhere. So that's the damn thing causing the cave in, Naruto said. As the both of them started to run down a corridor. It must be the protector of Usu, Inter Sanctum. You must have accidentally found out about a secret area of the village when you fled from our attacker, Naruto-senpai said Sai. As Naruto turned to see the thing moving more Wait, why the hell is it so faster down here, Naruto said. It must be the momentum that he came running down here, said Sai, as he pulled out his brush and started to write. Sai created many ink snakes that went towards the statue, but at the moment they touched the statue, they simply went back to ink. Tell me, was there any part of you that thought that would work, Naruto asked, giving Sai a rather dry look as they run. Sai, nothing has changed since the last time we fought this thing, except for this time I cannot take control of it to beat it, Naruto said. Our jutsus will still disperse even when you touch this thing. Sai nodded. Uzu was seriously feared seal masters if they could make buildings and living golems that were a resistance to chakra-based attacks. Marvel at my ancestors' workmanship later. We still need to get the hell out of here. My clone didn't find an exit, it just found a different path to use. Sai gave him a questioning look as Naruto shrugged. I told it to find a path and that's what it did. I never told it to go any further because I never knew that stupid thing was down here. Naruto and Sai had to jump apart and statue step right in the center, swinging wildly, destroying the walls, making the rock fall down on them, as he had to leap up and run even faster. This thing is really stupid. If he keeps this up, he's going to bury himself as well, Naruto thought. The two of them then enter a clearing with several other routes to take. Naruto-san, I think I know how it found us in the cave. What do you mean, Naruto asked. Well, the last time we left it was in the cavern, right? Well, I believe this statue can sense bursts of chakra. Seeing that, Uzu has his protective layer. It absorbs any burst of chakra. It's probably the walls. They send the location to the statue to where we are when they feel our chakra. So if we refrain from using any at all, then it won't come after us at all, Naruto said. Yes, I believe it will go back to its platform. So, but the platform is the only way for us to get out of here, Naruto said. Asai nodded. So we will have to go through that killer statue first. So where are we now, Naruto said, looking around. As they were currently in a room, they saw a lot of skeletons inside, and armor on the wall as well. Sai picked up some old shuriken and kunai, before deeming them useless and throwing them aside. Naruto saw a book right next to one of the skeletons as he picked it up. Blowing the dust off of it, he opened it. 3 days after our defensive has shattered, the enemies have fought their way through our borders and now moving in towards the main hall in an effort to restock and resources and launch our counterattack. In the near future, we secretly fled to the hidden whirlpool catacombs of the village. There are approximately 32 of us remaining. The rest had decided to stay above, leading the enemy fools into the towers right to their deaths. The sentinel is waiting for them to crush all of them that come across it. The moment the commotion up above stops, we will strike. Day 6. The battle above still rages. The village leader will not accept our request for us to join the battle above. The sounds of our brethren, still fighting off against the enemy foes, ring through our ears as we sit. But it doesn't matter, we must go with the will of our leader. He knows what is needed for Uzu to survive. Konoha will come. They will not let us fall, not after so many years, not after what our alliances went through. We sit and wait for our moment, 1Q. That is all that we need to release hell on these bastards. 2 weeks since the defense fall. The battle grows quiet above. We still hear the sounds of battle, but once in a while. It has been weeks since the assault on our home, and we have not even received a single aid from Konoha. It seems like they have abandoned us. Kumo, the Sand, and the Stone are cowards. They preyed on our civilians, forcing us to move a good number of our trainings and tunings to evacuation stations. Many of our troops were picked off to keep the people safe. To prey on our nation that has never even harmed them. Never, not even once. This is treachery at the highest form. Our village leader has had enough and is casting away the contingency plan. He is heading up with volunteers for one final battle against the invaders. I will be amongst the ones that head out to go up against the invaders. Our final stand. This will be our finest hour. They will tell stories and legends about our stand. The next page didn't have a timestamp on it. Blood was on it. Sorcery. Sorcery of the Red Sand. We had believed that the invading forces was the alliance of the 3 villages I had been cursing through this passage, but it was just him and him alone. Its force was so overwhelming, we thought it was an alliance. The numerous headbands give us nothing to believe to the contrary, but we were mistaken. Never have I seen such use of the Sand's most secret art of war, the puppet force. He released one puppet, just one. This puppet was horrifying and effective. The 3rd Kazekage had went missing. Now we understand. The user of the Iron Side bloodline, sorcery, has turned him into a puppet. Our leader gave us one final wish. We must present all of the most valuables of Uzu down in the impenetrable vault. As I write this now, we have all been struck by a gas from sorcery. It is difficult to move. I am using all of my remaining strength to write this. I believe this will be my final hour. But at least, it's all safe down here. Sorcery, said Naruto as the journal ended. Sorcery of the Red Sand, said Sai. He has went rogue over 20 years ago. A puppeteer from the Hidden Sand. He must have been brought in as a closer when Uzu defenses got hit hard by the Alliance forces. Naruto nodded at Sai's logic as he turned towards the door to see many skeletons there. Impenetrable vault. We were looking for something. Do you think that we can break it open, Naruto said. With all of the luck that we have been getting lately, I don't think tampering with this safe would be safe, Naruto-senpai, said Sai. Naruto walked over to the vault and looked it over. Hey Sai, you know anything about safe cracking? I was the kind of direct assault myself. Sai reluctantly made his way over. There is no conceivable way for me to break into this vault. We need the key or this door stays shut. Naruto looked at the door. Wait, this is a blood seal array. But it's really specific. I believe that who is not a proper lineage will get a nasty surprise for their troubles if they try to break it. Well, Naruto looked at Sai. Go ahead and try it, Sai said. You are a Uzumaki after all. Yeah, says the guy that won't get fried. What if it failed? You know what, screw it, Naruto says. He pulled a kunai and cut his palm. If I die, stay the hell away from my funeral. Sai gave Naruto a smile. If you die, I will bury you here with the rest of your family and village of origin. That's what you would want, right? You know, you're kind of an asshole, Naruto said. Naruto slammed his hand on the door as a massive seal array went off. Wait. It then started to click as the door started to open up as Naruto smiled. Looking inside the vault, it wasn't very large, but it was big for the both of them to stand in though. There was no treasure of value, no stockpile money, nothing of the sort. But there was a shelf with a dozen scrolls on it. Sai reached for one and attempted to open it. As Sai couldn't open it, Naruto wiped his blood across it as the scroll opened. Sai then squinted. There was nothing on it, senpai. Naruto placed his finger on top as his blood made contact with it. As writing started to appear, there you go. I can't read it, senpai. What are you, blind? It said scroll 1 of Uzo. Listed, seal and array. Get your head in the game, Sai. What are you talking about, senpai, said Sai. I don't see anything. It looked like a bunch of random scribbles. Naruto blinked. He could see it clear as day. Wow, that's really good Fuinjutsu. You can't read it unless you're Uzumaki. Sucks for you and everyone else. En route. Well, no time to waste, let's load all of this stuff up and get the hell out of here, Naruto said. As they pack all the scrolls in Naruto pockets, seeing that if they use any sealing array or any sealing scroll, that giant golem would come back again. After he finished loading his pocket with scrolls, Naruto noticed something behind the shelf. What the? As he pulled the wooden shelf down to see, there was a blade. It was on a small podium. The sheet was black with gold and silver designs all over it. The handle looked smooth and well made, but very plain. Sai tried to pull it out, but Naruto pushed him off. You think you would have learned by now, right? As Naruto reached for it. What the hell? As Naruto swore if Sai did have emotions, he would have given him a look to say, huh, smart ass. Because Naruto could not pull it either. As Naruto pulled, one moment, I almost got it. Yes, you almost got it, Naruto senpai. One more tug and some of the sheet will probably pull off on your hands. Naruto put his legs on the wall. Screw you, Sai. You sure don't show emotions. But you got sarcasm well down and right, don't you? As Naruto kept on pulling, Sai shook his head and sat down. As Naruto kept on pulling. Damn it, I'm not leaving without you. You look sweet and I need a replacement. Come on, don't you know who I am? I am Naruto Uzumaki, and you're a goddamn sword. Come on! There was a click after he said the word Uzumaki, as he felt a pinch on his finger. More of his blood coming out. He was sent flying back into the wall. Naruto raised his hand high in the air with his sword in it. Yeah, how do you like that, you piece of crap? I rule you, Naruto said. Sai looked over. Naruto senpai, I think you should come here and see this. As the entire wall had dropped down, Naruto flashed his hand, blowing away the smoke. What the hell? As they couldn't believe what they saw, encased in ice was a white-haired girl. Meanwhile, Sorcerer senpai, why are we here? The Jinchuriki is gone and we aren't even looking for him, said Deidara. Shouldn't we have reported back to Leader Sama right now? Sorcerer kept on looking at the towers of Uzo. When Uzo was attacked many years ago, many believe that defenders are wiped out after a 2-week battle. However, there are many surviving ninjas who came out of hiding fresh, ready for one last victory. Nothing is as it seemed in this place. A few of the last defenders were not accounted for. As long as I haven't seen any bodies, they aren't dead. They will be back topside soon enough, and that is when we will finish them. Sorcerer senpai, why do you know so much about this? Asked Deidara. As Sorcerer remained silent, forcing Deidara to pout, to think how much he was a bastard sometime. Meanwhile at Kirin, with Kakashi. Kakashi sighed as he once again retired to the room that he was sharing with Shikamaru for the night. Where the hell are you, Naruto? It's been a week since you left. I can't keep Shikamaru and Teiwaya off my back for this forever. You need to make it back before we have to leave, because I don't know what the hell I'm going to do. He thought to himself as he saw Shikamaru sleeping on the bed nearby. Should I send Pakon or another one of the ninja dogs? Would they even be able to find him? He's in a different country. This is a complete bad idea. There was loud thumping coming towards the door. as vicious knocks strike the door over and over, stirring Shikamaru from his slumber. Kakashi went over to the door, opened it softly as he gave Teiwaya a smile. "Hello there, Teiwaya. What can I do for you tonight?" Teiwaya stood at the doorway, with an irritated scowl and her hands on her hips. "Where the hell is the blonde asshole?" she said. Kakashi gave her a look. "What I've been telling you since day one. Where Naruto go is his business. If he wants you to know, he will tell you when he gets back." "Well, in that case, could you tell me how long it's gonna take for him to draw his borderline, homicidal, scar-face ass back here? Because he's been gone long enough to file a missing report 3 times over." Kakashi leaned against the door frame. "Are you saying that you don't trust him? After all that he's done for you, and you don't trust him to handle his own affairs someplace else? Trust me, this is rather personal for him." Teiwaya looked down. "It's not that I don't trust him. It's the entire reason why I'm not in a tiny cell or dead right now. Honestly, I trust him a hell of a lot more than I would ever trust any other Konoha ninja," she said. "No offense." "None taken," said Kakashi. She ran her hand through her hair. "He's strong, yeah, because he beat Kimimaro, but why doesn't he trust us? I mean, I'm his friend, aren't I? I live next door to him and I see him almost every day." God damn it, emotional female distress. I should have known even a girl like her. She still qualifies as a girl. I need to get out of this, thought Kakashi. "Damn you, Shikamaru, I know you're not asleep." As Shikamaru was twitching, but he was playing tough well. "Those time he came and visit me in solitary confinement. I mean, why would he go and do something like that? Spend time with me when he didn't have to, and then go and do this, left without saying a single word. He trusted me enough to give me back my own weapon inside of his home, but not now. Is it something I did, Kakashi?" "It's not that, Teiwaya," said Kakashi as he sighed, decided to take his fate. "It's not anything you did, he's just a secretive kid these days. But why now, and why to me? It's not like I would have even tagged along. I just want to know what he's doing." Kakashi sighed. Meanwhile, with Naruto inside, as Naruto wiped the ice, it was very foggy. As he saw the girl, she had a very hard face. She had long white hair that went down to her back, with claw bangs in front of her face. From her body type, they could see that she was somewhere in their age range. How were they able to tell this, you ask? Well, she was completely naked, that's how. "So, are you going to get her out of there?" Naruto-senpai asked Sai. Naruto kept his eyes on the girl, because, come on, how much time in life you're gonna get a chance to see a girl completely naked? "Oh, Sai, have you ever seen me pull a rabbit out of a hat? Have you ever seen me create cards or something?" "Well, no, Naruto-senpai. So how the hell do you think I'm gonna get her out of that ice? I don't know any fire ninjutsu. And this thing, he felt the thing. It doesn't even look like ice anyway." "Well, you have opened and activated everything we come across so far," said Sai. "I don't see how you can come up with a way to get this girl free with that brilliant mind of yours." "Maybe, but do you think that she will try to kill us?" "What do you mean?" "Well, with my luck, I think she's gonna wake up and see herself naked, thinking that we have been staring at her, and then she's gonna try and kill us. And then she's gonna somehow set off the trap, and then we're gonna get scorched alive, or that giant golem is gonna come back and probably step on us and kill us anyway." "Well, that's a thought," said Sai. "But you can't just leave her here until the end of time," said Sai. "And you also wanted information from Uso, so you'll have to get her out." "Yeah, I guess you're right," Naruto said. "But I wonder, who the hell is this girl? She has nothing similar to me, and I judge at Uzumaki's we're supposed to have her here." "There's only one way to find out, senpai," said Sai. Naruto bit his hand and placed it on the thing. It started to melt. Whoa, it's like my blood is lava or something. The girl almost collapsed before Naruto caught her. Her eyes slowly but surely opened as the girl looked up at the both of them. She had beautiful golden eyes. Hello," she said. "Oh, hi there," Naruto said. Who are you, and what am I doing here?" she asked. "Oh, my name is Naruto, and this is Sai. And the thing is, we have no clue. I thought you could answer that." "Well, seeing that you were stuck in there, probably not." "I see, okay. So one more question," she asked. "Shoot," Naruto said. "Why am I naked?" she asked. Well, both Naruto and Sai looked at each other. We don't know that either. As he looked over her body once. Well, good on you though, bravo. The girl didn't even look flustered or troubled by that. "I hate to trouble you," she said, "but would either of you have any clothes that I could wear? My own seem to be missing at the moment, and I'm kind of cold. Naruto pulled a sealing scroll from his pocket and unsealed a change of clothes. As they vacated the vault, give me some time to put on the clothes. What are we gonna do now, senpai? Sai asked. I don't know, but we can't leave her here, that's for damn sure. Can you take her back to Konoha with you? Sai frowned and keep her where? I have only enough space in my lodging for myself, and Danzo-sama isn't accepting anyone else en route either. He wouldn't take her regardless, she's too old to be trained by him properly now. Damn it, I came here looking for scrolls, maybe a family tree, or something. I found the Akatsuki. A giant monster that wants to kill us. A hot naked girl. At least I find some scrolls. With my luck, I'm gonna be dead pretty soon, Naruto thought. So who are you two again? Naruto and Sai turned to see the girl, her hair tied in ponytails, two of them going down her back. She had on a black pair of Naruto shinobi pants rolled up to her knees. With black sandals, she had on Naruto Muscle shirt. Seeing her adjusting his shirt on her chest was really appealing. God, I'm so stiff after being stuck in that place, she said. Me too, Naruto said. He slapped himself. No, I mean, shouldn't you at least give your name before asking someone else, he said. The girl's eyes widened. Oh, I'm so sorry, she said. My name is Himako Kiyomizu, she said. Level 9 Seal Master Apprentice of Uzo. No way, you're a Seal Master? You're so young. How can you be level 9? My sensei is not even level 9, he said that he's level 8. Well, I just said I was a Seal Master Apprentice, she said. I'm not a fully Seal Master yet until Sensei promoted me to level 10. She blinked. Wait, there's a battle going on right now. Where is Sensei? Where is everyone, she said. She then noticed her headbands. As a smile came on her face. Konoha is here? Sensei said that you would come. You must have beaten all those jerks up top. Sorry about that, I'm such an earhead sometimes. So, what was your names? She asked. Well, you can call him Sai, it seems to fit him, Naruto said. As Sai nodded. As for me, I am Naruto. Naruto Uzumaki. Himako eyes widened on hearing his name. Uzumaki-sama? From Konoha? You must be related to Mito-sama, somehow. Mito? Who's Mito? And Sama, why am I Sama? Naruto asked. She latched onto his arms to be saved by a member of Mito-sama family in Konoha. This is truly a bless. Have you and your partner seen Sensei yet? Others would probably call him village leader or something. Sorry, but I can't tell you this, Naruto said. You know what? Sai, you do it. Sai nodded. Uzu fell while you were in that chamber. You have been asleep for the best part of nearly 20 years now. Himako stared at them before she started to laugh. You guys are really funny, she said. If Konoha is here, that means that we won. You shouldn't joke like that, she said. What if I had taken that seriously, she said, a small giggle. She realized that they weren't laughing. You're messing with me, right? Tell me that Uzu is still okay, she said. Thud, thud, thud. 3 loud thud went off as Naruto and Sai turned to the nearest wall. Shit. As the golem trashed right through the wall, coming down on both Naruto and Sai, as it glared at them. As Himako looked up. Can you stop being a nuisance? Komeino-kun, she said, as the statue stopped. What the hell? How the hell did you do that? Do you have any idea how much crap that thing put us through in the past 2 days? Himako turned to Naruto. What do you mean, how did I do that? I was the one that made the seal that animated him. I have control over him. Now tell me, she said. What happened to Uzu, she said. Naruto stepped forward as he wrapped her into a hug. I'm so sorry. As he saw that she was crying. Uzu fall. A long time ago, you're the only person we found here alive. It's probably because you were stuck in that chamber. Hearing that, she broke down and she started crying on him. As Naruto simply held her and let her get it all out. That was the very least he could do for her now. Just let her let it all out. Time skip. Once again, Kakashi was on a ship. But this ship wasn't set for the mainland. This ship was going somewhere else. For the time being, it had been over a week since he had let Naruto head off on a trip that was supposed to take 5 days at the most. Kakashi was starting to get really worried. He had no idea where Naruto was, other than the fact that he was somewhere in Naminokune. And he couldn't go home without Naruto anyway. Well, not that he would if he could. Naruto was his comrade, and after his monumental failure with Sasuke, he was going to keep that boy safe. But he knew that the boy could protect himself in any battle right now. Naruto faced off against the Jonins of Konoha, Kakashi thought, as he wondered who Naruto would probably shame. So we're finally gonna get the blonde idiot, are we? Said Teiwaya, snapping Kakashi from his thoughts. It took you long enough. Kakashi sighed. She seemed angry, but honestly she was way happier than she has ever been all week, knowing that they were going to look for him. Know that the chances of them seeing him were increased, she was more manageable. As Kakashi wondered, did Naruto notice the caliber of woman that he was attracting to himself? As he had made the Kazukage's daughter sleep in his bed for the 3 days straight that they were here. As he heard what happened at Kumo with Naruto, as Genma told him that Naruto was seen with the other girls, like they were going out on dates. And now this girl, even though she would never admit it, she seemed to like him. Meanwhile at Uzu, the underground catacombs, as Naruto and Sai allow Hamako to sleep after telling her what exactly happened to Uzu. They had refrained from telling her what exactly it looked like up there. While Naruto had to elbow Sai in the face from keeping him from blurring it out, as she cried herself to sleep. As Naruto and Sai took that time to get some rest as well. During this time period, Naruto almost dislocated her shoulder when she woke him up in the middle of the night. Sheer willpower stopped him from doing so. Well, he was a bit jumpy. You don't just wake up someone like that, and especially since he was in foreign territory where enemies can arrive anytime, especially since he faced off against that explosive guy. She was just needing some comfort. Instead of pushing her off, he wrapped his arm around her and allowed her to sleep. He was obviously the closest thing to her own life that she had. And Sai, well, he didn't really show any emotions. The only thing Naruto couldn't get used to was her calling him Uzumaki-sama. That was just weird. So the next morning, Naruto slowly opened his eyes. You know, that's really creepy, Naruto said as Sai was just sitting there looking at the both of them. Sai took that as his cue to stand up. I believe it's time we exit the premises, Naruto-senpai, he said. Naruto nodded as he gently rocked her awake, as she adjusted her eyes and stretched. I agree, but what are we going to do about her, Naruto said. As he looked at her, what are you going to do when we get out of here? I am not really sure, Uzumaki-sama. I don't have anywhere to go, she said. As a massive statue came down, as it kneeled down and looked at her, as she patted it on the head. It's okay, Komeino-kun, she said. We'll be fine, she said. She made a few hand signs and placed her hand on the statue. Kai. The statue shrunk to a 4-inch doll, which she put a rope around and tied around her neck. She turned and looked at Naruto and Sai as Naruto's eye was twitching. What? You can control that statue and shrink it? Just how the hell are you doing this stuff? She shook her head. Don't you know anything about Fuinjutsu? Your clan are the best at Fuinjutsu in the entire world. I guess I skip a generation or several. He noticed her staring at him. What's the matter? How old are you, Uzumaki-sama? Her voice deadly serious. And what level of ceiling are you at, she asked. Well, 14. And I don't know. I can't tell all the seals that went into that golem. But I was able to stop him for a bit. What do you think that made me? Her jaw dropped. What? You're not even level 3 yet? You're 14. You're not even at level 5. Yeah, I guess so. Is that a bad thing, Naruto asked? She grabbed him by his collar and pulled him straight to her face. Everyone in your clan was at least level 7 before they were 15. And you mix overlapping seals without even knowing what went into one of them. What kind of Uzumaki isn't good at Fuinjutsu, she asked. Well, a Uzumaki that was introduced to the art until a few months ago. Give me a break, Himaku. God, she said. There's a real Uzumaki still alive. But you can't even do Fuinjutsu. Hey, I can do stuff, Naruto says. He took offense to that. I can make tons of stuff. I make sealing scrolls and customize explosive tags and check it. He pulled out the scroll that he used to control the statue. I even made this temporary controlled seal that helped to beat your statue when you first ran into it. Those things are beginner stuff, she said, as she took the seal away from him. She looked at it. This is completely shot, she said as she tossed it aside. What? Do you know how hard that was to come up with, he asked. Well, compared to what I do to animate my friend here, you might as well have just scribbled your name in crayon and handed it to me. Your seal is sloppy, I'm surprised, it didn't kill you. First of all, simply using it put you into an eternal struggle against your target. The only way you can use it is that if you try it on something with no will whatsoever. And even then, you could still lose. Although it would be hilarious to see someone lose a battle to an end table, she said. Second of all, it's so useless even if you won the first struggle. There isn't much you can do with it after that. And finally and most important, it's a mimic array. Did you know that? Instead of using your mind to control the target, you made it follow whatever you did. That's so stupid, she said. Naruto deflated. You know you don't have to put it like that, you know. I've been basically teaching myself, since Erosenin taught me the basics. She then smiled as she gave him a small wink. Well, at least I know what I'm doing now. There is no way I can leave a full Uzumaki to his own devices that are so terrible in seal work. So until you become good at Fuinjutsu, I will be your teacher, Uzumaki-sama. You're going to train me, Naruto asked. Himako nodded. Yes. Because basically, you're not good at Fuinjutsu at all. If anyone told you that you were, they were either lying to make you feel better, or they never yet saw a true Uzumaki at work. So, now it's my responsibility to teach you the right way of going about your sealing. I owe the Uzumakis a debt that I can't really repay them now, so I'll pay it off through you. I don't want to force you to do anything you don't want, Naruto said. Despite that she would be a big help. She walked up to him. Uzumaki-sama, there is nowhere else that I can go. What would I do? I'm completely out of place here. I know nothing from this current world. And you are the closest thing to my masters that have been so kind to me for my entire life, since they found me and taught me everything I know. She bowed to him. I would be honored if I can go with you, she said. As Naruto picked her up by her shoulders. You don't have to bow, he said. But I have a question. Why were you stuck inside that vault? I would like to know it as well, said Sai as he stepped forward. I don't know. Sensei said that he was going to lead the future of our village up to me. I thought he was going to make me go up with him to fight. But then I fell unconscious, and then I saw you too. Naruto shifted his sword in his back, his new sword, as he went down the corridor. We can figure this out later. We still need to get to the surface. Himako, can you get us out of here? Yes, I remember my way through here like it was just yesterday, she said. Technically for you it was just yesterday, he said. She growled at him a bit. Okay, bad timing, he said. Alright, let's go. Himako got them out of there. She did not shut her eyes or look away as she looked over at the ruins of the village. You want to take a minute, Naruto asked. No, she said. There is nothing more that can be done here. Uzu was my home. But this is not Uzu anymore, this is just ruins now. Even if I stayed, what would I do? Live like a hermit on the grounds of a destroyed village. I would go with you instead, Uzumaki-sama. My entire life has been to serve your clan. It's all I've known. And I'll do it as well, she said. Naruto looked at her strangely. She's kind of like Haku. Naruto-senpai, I think it's best if Himako travel with you, Sai said. I cannot take her in Konoha with me. And even if I did, I could not get her to be a citizen. At the very least, I'll see you out of Nami-no-Kune. I need to catch up with my squad though. Kakashi is probably gonna kill me once I get back. This wasn't supposed to take so long to do. It could not be helped. If you tell him about the encounter with Akatsuki, he should understand, but remember to keep my involvement a secret. Understood. But how the hell am I going to explain her to him? Don't worry, I'll come up with something by the time I meet you back with the others. As he called out to her, Himako, you ready to leave? You could just tell the truth about where she came from, senpai. It wouldn't matter much. Himako made her way back over. I'm ready to leave, master. Naruto faced palm. Master? Really? Come on, Himako, he said. You're not my servant, and you're not under my command. You're a girl that is my age. Aside from owning a person, owning someone would be strange. And Erosine and Kakashi would never let that fact die. That is inappropriate, master, she said. You won't let me call you Uzumaki-sama. No, you won't let me call you master. Your clan are my retainers. How else am I supposed to show you my proper respect? Master, she said with a smile. Hey kid, shut up and pay attention. As Naruto snapped to attention as Sai looked around as well. Can you tell me where they're coming from, Kyuubi? Whoever it is, they're doing a great job at keeping themselves concealed. All I know is what you know, that there's someone present around here. Be careful, it would be rather shameful if you died in this wasteland. Master, what's going on? Is there something wrong? Himako asked. Naruto was confused. Himako, what ranking are you? She was able to create seal so perfectly. Wasn't she trained as a ninja? I wasn't registered as a ninja, master. I had basic training like others did, but everything I did was focused on seal making. I was trained alongside the Fuinjutsu Corps. I don't really know any other ninja arts. Naruto created a dozen clones and sent them over to Himako. Keep her safe no matter what. He looked over at Sai. Let's take this elsewhere. Sai nodded as the both of them disappeared in the sunshine. Himako tried to run out and catch them. I need to go with Sai-san and Master. Why are they leaving? She said. I can't let you go after the boss, Himako. Things are about to get ugly out here, the clone said. Meanwhile, Naruto pulled his blade. I really hope it's Deidara. How will we go about fighting him this time, senpai? Well, I'm gonna cut his arms off. This time we have tons of space. You can take it from the ear if you like. But I have my own methods of reaching him. That will do for now, senpai, said Sai. They both were then caught up in a massive explosion. A lot of them. As Deidara was watching from a distance. And there you go. Oh yeah, damn it, I wasn't supposed to kill him. Deidara was then bound by ink snakes. Before he could even blink, a sword ripped right through his chest. But Deidara turned to clay as Naruto quickly jumped away as Deidara exploded. As Naruto landed on the ground, Sai came to his side. That was a nasty little surprise. It looked like he has a clone technique of his own as well, said Naruto. Where is the real one, he said. He isn't flying above us, so where can he be? Sai drew on his scroll as several of his snakes went underground. Deidara burst from underground as he thrust some clay explosive, blowing up the snakes. As Naruto pushed off with incredible speed, Deidara opened his hands as Naruto saw clay structures coming from his palm. As he shook his head, I must have been underground for a long time. I'm starting to lose my goddamn mind. As Naruto reached Deidara and spin its blade wildly, Deidara jumped away and released a small spider that landed on Naruto's back. Cuts, Deidara said, as the spider exploded, sending Naruto driving to the ground hard. But Naruto picked himself up. You know what? I'm tired of you. As the Kyuubi's chakra started to leak from his body, Naruto pushed off the ground in one giant thrust. Deidara threw a bird up as he jumped on top of it after making it expand. As Naruto sliced at it, Deidara released several explosive insects as Naruto sliced right through them, but they exploded as Deidara started to fly away. As Naruto dropped, he realized the location Deidara was going off to. He's going over to Himako. Sai, cut him off. That brat is really something else, said Deidara. Well, at least I have a way to get him to cooperate, as he flew over towards Himako. But guys, we'll be ending this episode right here. If you want the next part of this or know what to do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn the bell notifications to stay posted. Remember to share to all of your friends on your social media platform. And also, stay tuned for What If Naruto's also King. And enjoy that, guys. But for now, I'm out of here. Peace.